live here first, and then we're gonna wait a few minutes, and then we'll go live on Instagram. So, Facebook first. Eric's just getting the Instagram together. I can push that for you if you need me to. It's time. Hey guys, good morning. Happy Saturday. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hello. Hope you had a good week and you're staying calm and sane and at peace with yourself. Spending time doing things you enjoy, like yoga and reading, maybe some art, some cooking, spending time with your family, right? Just trying to make the best of this confusing time. That's what I've sort of been doing too. But let's get started. Bella, I think, wants to get started. So we're going to begin with some breath of fire today. So come into any comfortable seat. Remember, you can be on a blanket if that's better for you. You're going to place your hands right onto your knees. You're going to posture up, okay? So bring the shoulders right above your hips and the head in between the shoulders. So breath of fire is a very nice diaphragmatic breath, okay? So it gets the blood flowing, it'll build the heat, it gets energy moving through your body, and it also begins to activate the core muscles that we're going to be using today, okay? So, hands right here. You're going to take a deep inhale. Again, watch me, and then once you feel like you've got it figured out, you can just drain it. So you take a deep inhale right in through your nostrils. And then when you breath out, it's sort of like a deliberate breath out, right? So, and then the navel contracts inward. So breathe in again as the belly will expand. And then fully exhale out with some force, bringing your belly in close. So we could just do that a few times, right? So it becomes like this. Keep going, okay? So keep up with that deep inhale and fast exhale pace. You can speed it up a little bit if it's comfortable for you. If you feel any sort of cramping or discomfort, just slow it down. So it can look like, or it can be, so just 10 more seconds like this. Good morning, Jim. Maybe speed it up for this last few seconds. Take a deep, full body inhale. Hold the breath. And open your mouth. Let's exhale it out. I love breath of fire. It gets me really in the zone and present in the moment and gets all the blood flowing, all the juices flowing. Now from here, guys, let's come into a wide-legged straddle to start off. Okay. Move my desk. Maybe seeing me move that in and out. Okay. So spread the legs nice and wide to as comfortable as you can. Okay, and then keep your toes actively engaged. Even pay attention to your quads and everything. And make sure you're not like rounding in your spine like this, especially in like today's generation on our phones and laptops, so that we kind of tend to round. So allow the heart to come forward. Think about lifting forward through your heart. And then it'll allow the pelvis to shift forward slightly, and you won't be so much in your lower back. Then once you get here, let's bring your hands to prayer, and then bring your pointer fingers together. Interlace all the other fingers and the thumb down, okay? This is our Venus Mudra. I'm going to bring Venus Mudra, the mudra of love and compassion, right here to your heart. Now take a deep inhale, reach up that Venus Mudra. Try to keep your ears framed and keep your hands nice and straight. And then just reach over towards the left slightly. back to the center. Remember to keep the feet active. And then over towards the left. Back to the center. Over towards the right. Into your midline. And then reach to the other side. Good. Now come back with the Venus Mudra right here. Undo your hands. You want to find eagle arms. Take your right arm underneath your left arm, okay? And then if you want to grab your wrist, you can if it's comfortable for you. And then again, just reach over towards the left. Just fold slightly. And use this arms as sort of an anchor. So you can feel the stretch deeper in your side, in the oblique, in the hip flexor maybe. Breathe. And then back to the center, just switch the arms. Okay, eagle wrap the other way. And then lean in over towards your left. And notice how each side could be a little bit different, right? We're all working towards building balance, towards both sides of the body. Come back to the center and come back to your Venus Mudra and lift up out of the rib cage. Take a deep inhale and slice the air out in front of you, round your spine in, coming into a cat pose. So now you can sort of be sitting back a little bit. But then allow the heart to shine through again and come forward into cow pose. Maybe you look up at the ceiling. This could be a little bit more intense since the legs are spread wide. If at any point you need to bring the legs a little closer, you can go ahead and do that. And then round the spine in, cat pose. And expand through to cow pose. Okay, just some spinal flexion and extension. It's a little bit harder to go quickly like this because our legs are spread out wide, okay? Remember, engage the toes. Don't lose that. Last round right here. Good. And then just take the Venus Mudra forward, take it forward, take it forward. Guide the heart forward, and then whenever you feel like, oh, that's good for me, you just place your hands right down in front of you, okay? If you can come onto the forearms, you can go ahead and come onto your forearms. You can also grab a block here, okay? And place it down on your hands and hang out. Relax your head and your neck, and keep thinking heart forward, okay? Keep thinking heart forward. And let's just take 5 deep belly breaths right here, okay? Wherever you are. And each inhale, each exhale is creating a little bit more space for you to arrive just a little bit further forward. Last deep breath right here. So good. And slowly walk your hands back towards the navel, towards your belly. Okay? Keep your abs active. And then just slowly place your hands underneath your knees. Turn one foot in and turn your other foot in. Hands next to you, and just shake out the legs a little bit. Just a little shaking out up and down. So good. And then go ahead and just bring your left leg in. And I want you to make a figure 4 here. So you're going to take your left foot and just place it on your right knee, right above the right knee. Okay, so you're in sort of this figure 4 shape now. Now this could be enough of a hip opener for you, okay? This is like a lot's going on, so it's fine. Or you can place your hands next to you and bend your right knee. Okay, so now we're in this seated figure 4. And the closer you bring your hips to your foot, or the closer you bring your foot to your hips, it'll get a little bit more intense. And then you can also, just so you know, grab blocks. Again, blocks can be right here on your hands to add support. So find a place where you can hang out in this seated figure 4, where it's comfortable for you. And then again, think of shining the heart forward, maybe looking up at the ceiling, so you don't round your spine, right? And maybe rock a little side to side here. Hey guys, I see your faces. I love when you wave and comment, so please say hi. Okay, Now we're going to take a short forward fold from here. So walk that right foot out a little bit. Okay, and then allow the left foot to meet your right. The knees are bent. Notice how bent my knees are here, okay? Come forward again with the heart. Wrap your hands around your knees and relax your head down so the head meets your knees. You can scoot a little bit further forward if you want, but I do want this to be sort of restorative and relaxed. So take a few deep breaths. Good. Bring your gaze forward, rise up, and then straighten out the left leg and figure 4 on the right side. So bring your right foot to the left knee, make that figure 4. Okay, opening up your hip. My left is much more open than my right. So, and then you can bend your left knee, walk it back to a place that's comfortable for you. Remember to allow the heart to shine forward. Grab your blocks or your hands can be on the ground. Maybe you rock a little side to side. Good job, guys. Now from here, let's come into Baddha Konasana. Bring the bottom of your feet together. Right? Bottom of the feet to touch. Bring them in as close as you can. That's comfortable for you. And place your hands right on your shins. Place your elbows on your thighs. Guide the heart forward, and relax the head down. Navel comes in close to your spine. Rise all the way up, vertebra by vertebra. And then we're going to come on to our hands and knees, okay? So scoot the blanket out from under you. Okay, place the blocks if you have at the front of your mat for now. And then come on to all 4s, hands and knees. Blanket can get under your knees here, okay? If it's better for you. And then this time we just want to take a little bit of a wider table so you can walk your hands forward just slightly, okay? So they're not directly under our shoulders here. Walking them forward a little bit. And then I want you to just make some circles around yourself like this, okay? So even take it back to child's. Come all the way forward, maybe into like a cobra variation. And then send it all the way back. And just get into it. Loosen up this area. Notice any tension or tightness that you may be feeling. And pay attention to those nuances and tend to those areas with the breath. Send the breath towards the area where you feel any kind of tightness. And then hold it right here. Take a child's pose. And then come back forward and make the Sufi circles opposite direction. Okay? Move with your breath, keep it fluid. And no one's watching, so get into it. Get into those hips. One last big Sufi circle. Woo. And send it all the way back to child's. Third eye meets the earth. Just take a deep breath right there. Good, then come on to all 4s, onto your hands and knees. Okay, and we're going to come up into a plank pose. So, this time make sure the hands are underneath your shoulders. Send your feet back, and lift up into plank. So good. Take a few deep breaths right here. Notice how strong and resilient you are in your plank pose, okay? Make sure the fingertips are facing the front, the pointer fingers are facing forward. Your hands are spread out nice and wide. And we're just gonna take a few leg lifts here. So you're gonna just lift up the left leg. Oops, I gotta move up, sorry guys. So lift up the left leg and lower. Lift up the right and lower. It could just be one small inch off the ground. It does not have to be crazy, okay? Just a few inches so we can warm up the glutes. If one knee needs to be down as you lift, that's okay too. You can switch. Always have options. So take one more on either side. And then you're going to bring your left left knee into your chest and send it back. Right knee comes into your chest, send it back. And then lift up the right leg, and then lift up the left foot. Good. Now lower the knees down, just the knees. And then lower your heart down, so heart down, heart down, heart down. And then your chin comes down. Slide it through, push into your pelvis, and find your baby cobra. Push into the tops of the feet too. Slowly lower all the way down, slither all the way back to a child's pose. Come all the way back onto your hands and knees. Good. And then picking up with that, bring your left knee in and send it back. Bring your right knee in and send it back. Just 3 or 4 times on either side. Good. Lower the knees down. Keep the toes tucked. Take a child's pose. Come on to your hands and knees. Up to plank. And then go ahead and bend your knees. I like to think of it as like a plank squat. So bend your knees like you're coming into a squat. And then come back forward. Back to that squat. And forward. So we're just bending our knees and coming back, right? The more you do it, you start to feel like there's some momentum here building. Heat's moving through, the energy's moving through, the prana, the shakti, right? We're just moving it all around, shaking it around. Last one. Come forward. This time lower through as one solid straight line. And then lift on up to your baby cobra. Lower it down, come to hands and knees. And then we're gonna come into our first downward facing dog. You can totally grab your blocks here. I love blocks in a down dog. And then lift your hips up high. You can keep the knees bent for now. Remember, triceps turn in, biceps turn out. All my fingertips are spread wide, and my feet are about hip width apart. You can reach your heels down towards the earth. Bring your belly button in close to your spine. Good, lower the knees down. Take a child's pose. Good, from child's pose, you're gonna come back into plank. If you want to keep the blocks underneath you this time, you can. Okay. So lift up into plank. And then find that squat again. So bend the knees generously. And this time, as we come forward, we're gonna place our right foot down in between we're gonna place our left foot down in between our hands. Okay, so bend your knees and place the left foot down in between your hands as you come forward into a lunge. Okay? Now lower the back knee down. Untuck your toes. Take a Ardha Hanuman, a half Hanuman. So just send your hips back here. Okay? Now the front foot, the left foot can stay down. If it's comfortable for you to reach back a little bit, go ahead. You can lift up the toes. And my headband's falling. There we go. Again, think hard forward. Guide your head down towards your knee. Good. Now, root the left foot back into the ground. Lift up the back leg. Okay? We want to find a pyramid pose. So you're going to straighten out both legs here. You can always be on a higher setting on the blocks, or you can use books if you don't have blocks, guys. Just grab a book. Keep your hips square, feel where your sacrum is, okay? And then step back forward into a low lunge. And then step it back to plank. Did it. And then lower through is one solid straight line. Lift up to your baby cobra. And send it back to downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. And then bend the knees again and step your right foot forward. Lower the back knee down. Untuck your toes. Send it back to your half split. And then root into that right foot. Lift up the back leg and straighten out both legs for pyramid. Okay? Or just at least the idea of straightening both legs out. Okay? If there's a little bit of bend in the knee, that's okay. Come back forward into that lunge and then shift it back to your plank. Now you're going to lower it through as one solid straight line, or you can also always do knees, chest, chin, or you can do a child's pose. So you decide what works for you here in this moment. And we'll all meet in our downward facing dog. Okay. So now we got that, right? We got the gist of that. We're going to do it again. So bend your knees. Okay? Send the left foot forward in between your hands. We're not going to take the half split. We're just going to go straight to pyramid. So you can always walk your back leg in a little bit and then straighten out both legs. We're in our pyramid pose. Good. Take deep breaths right here, guys. Good. Now from here, when you bend the front knee, guys, I want you to come forward. Okay, into forward fold. Walk it back a little so you can see me. And then move into a halfway lift. Place the hands on the shins and think cow pose in your chest and in your heart and in your tailbone. And then just sit down into a chair. So reach your hands up high. Okay, feet can be together or hip width apart. Make sure your toes are touching and you can see all your toes. You can flare your toes to make sure you're grounded into your ball mount of your toe. And then find your Venus Mudra and rise up all the way. Urdhva full body extension. And then come all the way down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Plant your hands right onto the ground. And send your right foot straight back and down. Good, so we're in a low lunge. And then lift up that back leg, come into a plank pose. Lower through all the way, one solid straight line. Lift up your heart. Send it all the way back, downward facing dog. Good, bend your knees, plank squat, step your right foot forward. And then straighten out immediately to pyramid. Bend the front knee, come into a lunge, come forward into forward fold. Shift the weight into your toes, away from your heels. Move into your halfway lift. And then have a seat in that chair. Bend your knees. There's a rooting down into the earth and a lifting up out of your heart and your chest. Bring your hands to Venus Mudra. Lift up out of yourself. Take a slight back bend. And come all the way back down into your forward fold. Send your right foot back. And then just send your left foot straight back into plank. Lower through. And lift up. Baby Cobra. Send your hips all the way back and down. And send it back, down facing dog. Good, bend your knees. Send the right foot forward. Straighten out into pyramid pose. I mean left foot forward. If you switched it, send your left foot forward. Opposite side. Good, come into your lunge, come forward into forward fold. And move into your halfway lift. And then go ahead and have a seat in your chair. Hands come to Venus Mudra, rise on up, take a slight back bend. And come all the way back down to Uttanasana. And send your left foot straight back. And the right foot will meet. Lower through. Lift on up. Back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees, find your squat. Pop the right foot forward. Come into pyramid pose. Bend your front knee, come forward, forward fold. And move into a halfway lift. Hide that chair pose. Lift on up. Lower through full body extension all the way down to forward fold. And send your right foot back. Meet me in a plank. This time take Chaturanga Dandasana. So shift the weight forward, right? So shift your shoulders over your wrist. Lower through halfway. And then untuck your toes. Send your heart forward, come into an up dog. So the legs are lifted off the ground. Arms are straight. Send it all the way back. Downward facing dog. One more round of this, okay? Find that plank squat. Shift your left foot forward. Come into pyramid pose. Straightening out both legs. Bend the front knee, come into a forward fold. Relax your head. Move into your halfway lift. Have a seat in the chair. Lift up out of the rib cage. Full body extension. Tadasana, mountain pose. Bring your palms down next to you. Engage your quads. Okay, feet are about hip width apart. Right at the front of your mat. Don't lose the energy in your palms and allow the heart to come forward. Take a deep breath right here. Full exhale out. Bring your palms to prayer right above your head. Shoot it back down to forward fold. Now go ahead and send your left leg back and then lower it down. Rise up with your Venus Mudra into Anjaneyasana. So make sure your inner leg lines are engaged and you're not hurting your knee. So come up, forward, off your kneecap. Make sure your front knee is over front ankle. Good, then go ahead and just place that left arm down and lift up into a simple twist. And then slowly come back to frame your front foot. Send it back to plank. Chaturanga, lower, knees, chest, chin. You take your pick. Okay? Find your vinyasa or take a child's pose. We meet in downward facing dog. Last round. Bend your knees. Okay? Come forward with the right foot. Find your pyramid pose. Straighten out both legs. Back to lunge will bring you forward into forward fold. And then you'll move into your halfway lift. Have a seat in your chair. Whew. Breathe into that belly. Find that fire. Find your Venus Mudra. Rise up. Urdhva Hastasana. Tadasana. Mountain pose. Palms come to your side. Feet are about hip width apart. Take a breath. Full exhale out. Palms come to Venus Mudra above your head. We'll circle back down to forward fold. And you'll lower your right leg back and down. And lift up with your mudra right into Anjaneyasana. Slowly come back down. Right hand is down on the ground. Lift up the back leg. Come into a simple twist. High mat. Come down to frame your front foot. Let's meet in plank. And take your vinyasa of choice here, guys. I'm going to take a child's pose. And this time we'll all meet in a child's pose. So take a second to get there. And make sure you're drinking water and staying hydrated. Hello. Excuse me. I've been drinking lots of echinacea. It's so good for your immune system. I drink it almost twice a day. So a little tip. Okay, so grab your water, get settled, take the child's pose, take a few deep breaths, and we're going to keep going. Okay? And we're going to meet in downward facing dog together when we get there. Just put this over real quick. Okay. Ready, guys? Downward facing dog. Now this time, let's take our left leg. Let's reach it up towards the sky and open up the hip. So bend your knee and open up your hip here. Root down through the right heel. Root into your left hand as you lift the left leg. Now shift it forward like we were doing before, right? And place the foot down in between your hands. We're going to rise up to warrior two. So turn your back leg so that's parallel to your mat, perpendicular to your front foot. You're going to rise up all the way. Warrior two. Okay, make sure the front leg is externally rotated. And your hands are equally spaced here. And ground into the pinky toe edge of your back foot. Okay, so there's a lifting of your arch. Maintain this stance as you flip your front palm and tip it back to peaceful warrior. And then come into an extended side angle. So just bring that left hand to your left thigh and reach over with the right arm. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe even plug them back in for a moment. Don't collapse down on this shoulder. Lift through your abdomens and through your chest. Good. Now from extended side angle, guys, we're going to come to simple twist. So take this right hand, bring it all the way down onto the ground or to a block, and then lift up your left arm to come into a simple twist. Good, lower it back down, send it back to plank. And then lower through your vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take the other side. So go ahead and lift the right leg and open up the hip on this side. Remember to keep your elbows nice and grounded and locked in here. Shift the weight forward, find warrior two. Back leg is parallel to my mat and perpendicular to my front leg, which is externally rotated out. Keep your stance strong. Tip it back to reverse your warrior. And then come into your extended side angle. Bring your right hand to the right thigh and reach over with the left. I feel a full stretch on this whole side body. And I can feel my arch lifting in the back leg. Keep your shoulders away from the ears. Then guide your left hand down right next to your right foot and lift up into simple twist. Lower through, back to plank, and then take your vinyasa or a child's pose. Whatever floats your boat in this moment. And then meet me back in downward facing dog. And then lift up the left leg, open up your hip. Place the foot down in between your hands, rise up, warrior two. Good, now tip it back to reverse. And then let's add a triangle pose. So straighten out that front leg, okay? Hug in your right hip. And then bring your left hand down onto your shin or your thigh, wherever you feel comfortable. Push the hand into your leg, okay? And then reach up with your right arm. And then the more you hug this hip in, the deeper you get in the hip flexor of your left foot. Keep your back leg so strong, keep the quad engaged. Now bend that front knee. You're already at your extended side angle, okay? So just rest this left hand right on your left thigh and reach over with the right. Find your simple twist. So guide the right hand down onto the ground next to your left and reach up. Come on back down, frame your front foot, send it back to plank. Lower through, your choice. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog, round three. Good, go ahead and lift up the right leg, open up your hip on this side. Find warrior two here, guys. Move mindfully. Tip it back to reverse your warrior. Lift the frontal hip points here. And then move into a triangle pose. Straighten out the right leg. Don't hyperextend your knee. Bring your right hand to your right shin and reach up with the left arm. Then you're twisting open through your rib cage as your hips turn down. Right? Back leg is so engaged. And then bend your front knee right to extended side angle. Reach over with that left arm. Keep your shoulder blades pinned down your back. Come on back down. Move into your simple twist. And then frame your front foot and take your vinyasa of choice. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Okay, keep hydrated and move at your pace. I can't see you, so please make sure you're being safe. Lift up the left leg, open up your hip. Find warrior two on this side, okay? Rise up. Tip it back for peaceful warrior. Moving into your triangle pose. Bend your front knee, find that extended side angle. Good, now come on down and move into your simple twist. And now this time, guys, frame that front foot, come back to forward fold. So front of the mat, forward fold. And then move into your halfway lift, just like we did before. Okay? And then have a seat in your chair pose. But this time, see if you can make Venus Mudra with your chair pose, okay? So interlace your fingers, find that pointer finger, maybe bring it behind your ears. Nice, strong seat in your chair. Good, rise up all the way. Go to Hastasana, keep your Venus Mudra. Feet are about hip width apart. And then go ahead and shift your weight over towards the left leg and peel your right heel off the ground. Good. Now you're going to just bring that knee into your chest and place your hands around the knee. Keep the foot flexed. Find your point of focus, your drishti, and maybe you'll reach up with the left arm. And maybe you'll open up the hip on this side. It's okay to wobble, it's okay to fall. Just come right back into it. Don't lose faith, keep moving forward. And back to your center space. Now I want you to step wide, just as a little wider than you normally would. Okay? And then spread the arms out, let the heart shine through. Whew. And come back to your Venus Mudra and step your feet together. And lower through all the way down to your forward fold, Uttanasana. Place your hands right down on the ground. You can hop it back if you'd like here, or walk it back to plank. And take your vinyasa of choice, or take a child's pose. That's always an option. You don't have to take all the chaturangas. My friend Laura calls it a nataranga. Whoops, sorry, the phone fell. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. Okay, last side here. Lift up your right leg. Open up your hip on this side. Place the foot down in between your hands. Move through warrior two. Tip it back for peaceful warrior. And extend through to triangle. You're right there with your extended side angle. Place your right hand on that right thigh. Grow very long on your left side. Woo! Feels so yummy. Keep your shoulders plugged in. Move through your simple twist. Left hand comes to the ground, right hand lifts. Back leg is super active and engaged. And then come forward into forward fold, guys. Where you find that halfway lift. And then find your chair pose with your Venus Mudra, okay? Utkatasana. Rise up. Urdhva Hastasana. Tadasana. Peel your right foot off the ground. Bring your knee into your chest. Okay? You can stay right here. Or maybe you want to reach up with the right arm. Okay? Maybe you want to open up your hip. You can also straighten out this leg if you would like. Bring it back in. Step wide. Okay? Just take a wide step. You might be off your mat. That's okay. And then spread the arms out. Accepting everything as is. Come back to that place of love with your Venus Mudra. Good. And come back to the center. Move through forward fold. Hop or walk it back to your plank. And lower through your vinyasa of choice. We'll meet in downward facing dog, everyone. And then look forward in between your hands. Okay, you're gonna meet me at the front of your mat from here. You can hop it. You're totally ready to hop it forward. Alright, the other phone's not working. Yours. You're totally ready to hop it back forward, okay? So bend your knees and come to the front. Into your forward fold. Move through the halfway lift. Okay. And then come full body extension, just straight up. Palms come to your Venus Mudra. Whew. And here we are in our Tadasana. So hands are at our side. Engage your quads so there's a lifting of your knees. Keep the feet hip width apart. Okay? Now close your eyes for a moment. Just notice how you're feeling here. Okay, I'm just grabbing a sip of water. Take this sacred pause. We're also adjusting a little technology. Okay, ready? So, we're at the front of our mat, feet are hip width apart. Find that Venus Mudra. Bend your knees just a little bit. Okay? And then go ahead and just send your right foot straight back behind you. So we're in a high lunge here. You can keep the back knee bent a little bit if it's comfortable for you. Then reach your Venus Mudra up above head. Come into this high crescent lunge. And maybe you'll straighten out the back leg when you're ready. Come up high on the ball of your back foot. Good. Now parallel your feet, guys. So parallel the feet. Flying warrior, okay? Now we're gonna come into a wide-legged forward fold. So again, heart comes forward, heart comes forward, heart comes forward. Still forward, okay? Keep the inner leg lines engaged so the arches are lifted. You can grab hold of your ankle, you can place your hands on the ground. Okay, whatever's comfortable for you in this moment. Even place your head on a block and relax down. And then go ahead and just place that right hand down on the ground, right in the center. And then lift up with the left arm, take a simple twist. Good. Come back down here. Now you can stay right here, okay? This is a lot. So if you want to stay in this wide-legged forward fold, that's fine. If you want to give Skandasana a try, you can try it with me. So the right foot, you're gonna turn that foot out. You may need to move a little bit closer to yourself. And then turn your right foot out, just step it out slightly. Okay, now walk your hands over towards this right foot. This could be your variation. Maybe you'll lift up the right leg, left leg. Maybe you'll have a seat. Maybe your hands will come onto towards your heart, or you could stay lifted right here. This foot might also be lifted, depending on how tight your hips are. There's a lot going on. Okay? Now, ground back into that left foot. Walk it back all the way to the front, guys. Prasarita to your lunge. And lower the back knee down. When you get there, you've already been here, thank goodness. We're back to Anjaneyasana with our Venus Mudra. Whew. Good. Now you're going to bring it back here, come up out of the rib cage, keep your hips neutral. Okay? Then we're going to turn over towards the left, so just twist over towards the left. And this might be enough for you. You might want to stay right here. If you want a little more, you can hook your elbow to the outside of your knee. If you want even more, guys, you can lift up your back leg. So find what works for you here in this moment. So good. Come on back forward, frame your front foot, lift up the back leg, and find a twist. Reach up with the left arm. Good. Come on back. Take it back to plank. Lower through, rinse it all out. And meet in downward facing dog. Bend your knees, walk or hop into the front. Forward fold. This time, grab hold of, interlace your fingers behind you, and your forward fold. And then use the fist to lift you all the way up to your full body extension. Find the Venus Mudra at the heart, back to Tadasana. Let's take it on to the other side. So go ahead and just lift your left heel off the ground, keep your knees slightly bent, step it back to a high crescent. Back leg can stay bent or straight. And then reach up with your mudra. Whoop, sorry. I was looking at the clock and I got confused. There you go. See why focus is so important? Don't lose your point of focus. And then parallel your feet, come into Flying Warrior. And I'm going to just turn around because there's a lot of this. You'll stare at my butt the whole time. And then come down to wide-legged forward fold. And then you'll place your left hand on the ground this time. Your right hand on the ground this time. Reach up. Good. Come on back. And then stay here if you want. Just take more wide-legged forward fold. Work on going forward. Or you could step your left foot out and walk it all the way back into Skandasana on the other side. You can stay lifted here. Maybe the hands come to the heart. Use your core. Bring that navel in close to your spine. Scooch it back up. Wide-legged forward fold to Prasarita. So you're going to walk it back forward. Okay? I had to switch legs to stay with you guys. Good. Then lower the back knee down. Anjaneyasana. So good. And then the hands come to the heart. And we turn and twist. Take a revolved lunge. You can hook your elbow if you'd like. Lift up the back leg. Or don't. Whatever works for you. And then come on down. Frame your front foot. Lift up the back leg, guys. Simple twist. And the last vinyasa of the day. So make it count, okay? Take that chaturanga, maybe. Last one. If you got it in you. And then meet in downward facing dog. Good. Now walk your feet towards your hands. Walk your hands towards your feet. I need to meet you in the middle of the mat. Okay? And then just turn. Okay. Heel toe, we grow wide again. This time, keep the toes turned out, heels turned in. Engage that core, bend your knees, rise up with Venus Mudra into Goddess Squat. Okay? And we'll flow side to side here. Place the hands on your thighs so the thumbs are inside and the shoulders actually come up towards your ears. And then just turn over towards the right side. Back to the center. Turn over towards the right. Good. Back to the center. Reach up all the way. Venus Mudra above your head. Heel, toe, heel, toe. Keep the feet turned out. Malasana Yogi Squat. Hands come to the heart. Lowered through all the way down. Whew. Oh man. Ground into the left arm. Open up with your right. Switch it up. Opposite direction. And then come on back down, guys. And then just walk your hands forward, turn your legs in so we're in a tabletop position, okay? Not the smoothest or most graceful or the prettiest. Okay, and now you're just gonna slither forward all the way onto your belly. Come on to your belly. And then from here, guys, we're gonna just take a little back bend. Now I'm into Chalavasana. So, if you would like, we could just start. Place your hands right in front of you, let the palms face up. I'm gonna move back as much as I can here so you can see me. Take a deep belly breath. And then just go ahead and just lift up the arms, okay? You just lift up your arms. And then slowly lower it down. Take a deep breath. Expand through the collarbone and lift up. And then maybe you'll add your legs into it and lift your legs. Keep the feet active. Whew. Slowly bring third eye down. Move your hips side to side. And we're going to take a little bow pose. So bend both of your knees. Okay? Keep the feet active. And then grab hold of your ankle or your foot, wherever you can hold on comfortably. Do the same thing with the other leg. Keep your feet active, okay? And then kick your feet into your hands and lift on up. And then breathe. Maybe there's a little rocking. Stay rooted through your pelvis. Keep your quads actively engaged. The glutes are working to support you. And then slowly, one vertebra at a time. Lower everything down. Interlace the fingers in front of you and relax your third eye down. Easy, Hazel. So good. Now from here, we're going to come onto our backs. We're going to do it in a kind of a fun, creative way though. So, you're going to take your right foot. You're going to just bring it out to the side. The best way that you can, okay? Just keep the knee bent, bring it out to the side. Now, lift the heart tubs, lift your chest up. Take your left hand, slide it through here. And maybe the left hand grabs hold of the right leg, right knee. See where I'm going with this? Simple twist. You're gonna reach over with the left arm all the way down onto the ground until the until your shoulder blade rests on the ground. And you're in a simple twist. You can gaze over towards your left side too. Once the shoulder blade nuzzles down. Okay, come back on your belly. You're just gonna slide forward onto your belly. Okay, and then go ahead and bring your left leg out to the side. Slide the right arm underneath your left arm. And open up into a twist. So good. And now from here, guys, just come onto your backs. Okay? Just roll onto your back. And then when you get there, go ahead and bring your knees in towards your chest and rock side to side. Then reach your legs up towards the ceiling, let the toes touch, and grab hold of the thighs if that feels comfortable. Flex the heels and flex the toes just a few times. Rotate the ankle. Other direction. And then take a happy baby. Grab hold of the inside of your feet. Pull your knees in towards your armpits. Ground and root into your tailbone. Keep the feet active. Keep your shoulder blades on the ground. You can rock side to side. And then straighten out your legs, reach your hands up above your head. Take a nice, wonderful stretch. Feel all the space that you've just created. And then bring your hands down next to your hips, and let's come into our Shavasana. Okay? So nuzzle those shoulder blades right underneath you. Allow the palms to face up as they come next to your hips. Okay? You can let the knees come out to the side slightly if it's comfortable for you. And you can make this so yummy and supported. You can cover yourself with a blanket if you have. Place a pillow underneath you. You can roll the blanket up and put it underneath your knees. That's also so supportive. And for the next minute or two, you guys are just gonna close your eyes and be here. You have nowhere to go, nothing to do. Hopefully there's a little quiet in your space right now. So just take the next minute or so and just be. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Go ahead and bend your knees. Guide your knees in towards your chest. And you can turn to your right side and take a fetal position for a breath more. And then slowly come make your way up to a comfortable seat, bringing your hands to your heart space. I have 2 quotes for you today. I'll start off with this one. Whatever place, whatever time, the ancestors have framed yoga practice to suit them all. Only the attitudes and circumstances of human beings change. With that in mind, that the yoga practice is here just for you individually to serve whatever you need, bring your hands to your third eye, bowing down to the practice. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My Instagram got cut, so I wanted to leave them with that. But for Facebook, one more lovely quote. It's a poem from Rumi. This human being is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and attend them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. Just trying to put a positive spin on what's going on today. Thank you again. I'll be back here tomorrow, 10:30, same time, or whenever you're practicing, but I'll be back here. And if you would like to donate to us, all donations go to support Beach Yoga SoCal, and we're still looking at another month of this, so please, 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 those are really appreciated. It's keeping us alive. It's keeping me and Eric here. So thank you for that. Thank you for all your generosity, and thank you for keeping this community coming and keeping on showing up. It keeps me motivated and going and busy, and I love creating all this stuff for you guys. So thank you again. I love you. I miss you. I'll see you soon. Namaste.